God says, Archangel Michael is not just weeping anymore. He's kneeling, bruised, mocked, and trembling because of what just happened in heaven. They all saw what he did for you. Every archangel, every being of light, every soul that stands near the throne of the Almighty. They watched in disbelief, in anger, and even in disgust as Michael did something unthinkable. He said your name louder than he said the name of God. And the moment it left his lips, silence fell in the highest heaven. It was as if the stars stopped burning for a moment. 1,000 wings froze in the air. 1,000 prayers held their breath. And then, the other archangels turned against him. Not because he sinned, but because he loved. Because he fought for someone they didn't believe was worthy. Because he saw something in you that not even they could see. And they couldn't bear it. Michael cried out as they mocked him. They threw stones, not the kind made of earth or fire, but stones made of divine disappointment. They accused him of betrayal. They questioned his loyalty. They pointed fingers and said, "How dare you, Michael? How dare you place this human above your own father?" But he did not run. He did not deny you. He did not try to protect himself. Instead, he stood taller. He declared, "If it costs me my rank, my light, my wings, then let it be. I will not stop fighting for this soul. I will not abandon the one I was sent to protect." And still, you have not opened your heart. You have not listened. You have heard his voice in dreams. You have seen his feathers on your path. You have felt his presence in the room when no one else was there. And still, you wait. Still, you delay. Still, you make excuses. And now, Archangel Michael says with breaking voice, "This is the last time I will beg. If they do not hear me now, I will never speak again." He does not want to threaten you. He does not want to scare you. But the truth is, your delay has created a spiritual wound deeper than you know. Michael has fought wars in your name, wars you never even saw. When you slept peacefully, he was guarding your soul from demonic contracts written in the language of shadows. When you walked into that room where someone smiled at you with evil intention, it was Michael who held their tongue and stopped their spell. When someone buried your name in a jar of darkness, trying to ruin your future, it was Michael who shattered it at midnight and said, "Not on my watch." But how many times has he whispered your name, only for you to scroll past the message? How many times has he sent urgent signs, only for you to dismiss them as coincidence? How many tears must he cry before you say, "Michael, I hear you"? The other angels don't understand why he still waits for you. They have begun to say he's a fool. That you'll never respond. That you've moved on. That your heart is too wounded to ever return. But Michael disagrees. He still believes in the soft spot in your heart. the one only heaven sees. He knows your pain, your doubts, your rage, but he also knows your potential. The moment you say yes to him, everything changes. God says, this isn't just a message. It's a final plea. It's heaven's last knock on your door before the silence becomes permanent. You are not reading this by accident. You didn't stumble here for no reason. This was orchestrated, timed, delivered in divine urgency. Because what's coming next in your life will either elevate you into miraculous restoration, or push you into the most silent season you've ever faced. That is not a punishment. That is consequence. Michael is not just any angel. He is the commander of heavenly hosts. He is the one who casts out darkness with a single roar. He is the one whose sword is made of the Word of God. He is the one who defended your name in front of beings who see every hidden part of you. He did not flinch. He did not hide your sins. He did not disguise your weaknesses. He pointed to them and still said, "This one is mine." What will you say now? The heavens have paused. The wind is waiting. The divine clock is ticking. And in exactly 2 minutes, this message will spiritually vanish. Not from your screen, but from your soul. Because grace has a window, and Michael is holding it open with bleeding hands. Don't you see? He's tired. But he's still here. Only for you. Your name has been mentioned in meetings of light and fire. Seraphim spoke it with reverence. Even Gabriel, the messenger, asked, "What is it about this one, that Michael would risk it all?" And God, in his infinite patience, whispered, "Love." Yes. Love. Not the romantic kind. Not the shallow kind. Not even the kind you've been chasing. But divine, everlasting, unconditional love. The kind that believes in you when you don't. The kind that guards your name even when you don't pray. The kind that shows up again and again even when you run the other way. The kind that screams your name into the battlefield of heaven, even while you ignore it on earth. Michael is not just fighting demons outside you. He's fighting the one inside, the voice of shame. The lies of guilt. The chains of trauma. The fears that were handed down to you through generations. He has fought your ancestral curses. He has stood in front of spirits who said you'll never break free, and he declared, "Watch them rise." But time is running out. This message isn't to manipulate you. It's to wake you up. Because something massive is about to happen. A spiritual shift so intense, so permanent, that your response in this moment will either unlock it or block it. That's why Michael's voice is trembling. That's why he's kneeling in front of the throne, begging one last time. Not because you are weak. Not because you are bad. but because you are loved beyond what your mind can hold. He has waited at the door of your house. He has stood over your bed while you cried and no one came. He has placed feathers, coins, lights, dreams, anything he could, to get your attention. But now, the rules are changing. The war is shifting. The window is closing. And your silence will become agreement unless you speak. Unless you respond. Unless you say, Michael, I hear you. I receive this. Do you know what's really at stake? Not just your blessings. Not just your love life. Not just your career. But your divine assignment. The reason you were born. The soul contracts you agreed to before you came into this world. There are scrolls in heaven with your name. And Michael has read them all. That's why he's so relentless. Because he knows what will happen if you walk away from your purpose. He's seen the consequences. He's seen what your enemies are planning. He's seen what your silence will cost. And yet, even now, he believes in miracles. He believes you'll wake up. He believes your spirit will break free of distraction, of logic, of fear. He believes you will hear this in your bones. That your soul will scream in agreement, yes, I remember now. I remember who I am. Because you were never meant to live this small. You were never meant to beg for love. You were never meant to doubt your worth. You were never meant to suffer silently while the world pretended not to notice. You were never meant to forget heaven. But earth has a way of breaking spirits. And you, my child, have been broken more times than anyone saw. Michael saw. And every time you cracked, he knelt. Every time you bled, he wept. Every time you almost ended it all, he stood between you and death and whispered, not yet. Not now. This one is not done. But now the other angels are demanding he step back. They are calling him biased. They say his love has blinded him. That he is no longer fit to lead because he puts you above protocol. But Michael roared back, I will not leave until they rise. I don't care if I am stripped of rank. I don't care if I am cast out. I would rather walk with them in darkness than fly in light without them. And so God allowed this moment. This sacred window. One last divine chance. For you to respond. To speak. To open your heart and say, I accept. And if you do, if you say yes to this message with your whole being, heaven will explode in light. The mocking angels will fall silent. Your enemies will be confused. Your life will shift. And Michael will rise again. Stronger. Louder. Unshaken. But if you don't, if you scroll past this one more time, If you let your logic tell you it's just words. If you close this without speaking aloud your surrender, Michael will go quiet. Not forever, but for a long, long time. Long enough for you to feel the absence of the one who loved you more than he loved his title. Long enough for you to understand what it meant when heaven whispered your name in urgency. You are not alone. You were never alone. But your choices shape your season. And this season, this holy moment, is begging you to choose. Michael's wings are still open. But they're shaking now. Will you respond? Or will you let the last feather fall? God is watching. Not with anger. Not with wrath. But with heartbreak. Because he gave you the most powerful protector, and you kept waiting for another sign. This is the sign. This is the warning. This is the love letter written in flame and storm and tears. Please. Speak now. Say yes. Before the silence becomes your only reply. The stars have wept for hours, trembling above your home, shimmering like the heart of someone who knows something terrible is about to be lost. And heaven is no longer still. There is a storm in the divine realm, and Archangel Michael, your protector, your light, your most loyal guide, is standing at the very edge of God's throne, trembling, not in fear, but in heartbreak. He has never once hesitated to fight the darkest battles for you. He has slain demons in your name. He has shielded you from attacks you never saw. He has whispered truths into your soul when the world tried to blind you. And now, as of this very second, he is no longer begging heaven to protect you, he is begging you to look at him, to open your heart to his voice. Because if you don't, something irreversible will happen. You need to understand this. Michael did something no other archangel dared. He fell in love, not the kind of love that binds in romance, but the love that binds a soul to its mission, to its person. Michael stood before God and said your name. He declared that if he had to choose between remaining in the council of angels and watching you die unloved, unprotected, or forgotten, he would choose you. And when he said it, the other archangels gasped in horror. Gabriel turned away. Raphael wept. Uriel shook his head. They said Michael had gone too far. They told him he was losing himself. They told him that a human was not worth this. But Michael didn't care. He screamed your name at the gates of heaven. He said, if this soul falls, I will fall with them. And now, this morning, something unthinkable happened. The other archangels turned their backs on him. They mocked him. Some hurled divine fire at him. One of them, Azazel, picked up a stone of light, something only used to mark sacred graves, and threw it directly at Michael's chest. It cracked his armor. It shattered part of his spirit. But do you want to know what he did? He didn't retaliate. He didn't scream. He just whispered, "They don't understand, but she's worth it. He's worth it. I can't leave them. He loves you more than he loves the throne he stood on for eternity." And yet, this is the moment where his voice trembles with something he's never experienced before: doubt. Not doubt in you, never you. But doubt in whether you will ever hear him. Whether you will ever believe that he's not just a story. Whether you will recognize that what's happening to you right now, the delay, the confusion, the sudden betrayal, the strange dreams, the heaviness in your chest, is because Michael has been trying to scream through the veil. But you haven't opened the message. You haven't responded. You haven't looked up when he's cried your name in silence. He is now pacing back and forth in front of the heavenly gate, the same gate he used to guard with flaming swords. The gate is now closed to him. They locked him out because he refused to give up on you. And he's not angry. He's devastated. Because if you don't open this message, if you ignore this one too, he has sworn something so terrifying that even God went quiet when he heard it. He said, "If they ignore me again, I swear, I will never speak to them again. Not because I hate them. Not because I give up. But because my soul will collapse under the weight of unanswered love." You don't know what he has sacrificed for you. There was a moment last night, exactly 2:33 a.m., when a demonic force stood near your home. It wasn't visible. You were asleep. But it stood there, trying to enter your energy. It was sent by someone, yes, a human. Someone who once smiled at you, who has your photo, who has been working in secret against you. They did a ritual. And they didn't even use your full name. They used your nickname. But the entity responded. And it tried to attach itself to your life path. Michael saw it. He was not allowed to interfere anymore, not after what he did for you. But he did. He violated the divine law. He cut open a portal and appeared on earth for 3 seconds. That's all he could manage. But in those 3 seconds, he struck that force with such fire that the entity screamed into the abyss and vanished. And now, Michael is weakening. Not physically, he cannot bleed, but emotionally, spiritually. His light is flickering. Not because he lacks power, but because the only thing he needs is you. Not your perfection. Not your prayers, even. Just your recognition. Your willingness to say, "Michael, I hear you." That's it. This message will vanish in 2 minutes. That's not a metaphor. This is a spiritual window, a sacred time frame created by a convergence between your soul's agreement and Michael's final attempt to reach you. After these 2 minutes, the veil thickens. And once it does, he will be silenced. Not forever, but possibly for a long time, years in your time, lifetimes in others. That's why heaven is silent right now. Because they know Michael might actually mean it. There is something you need to know. Michael has been watching someone in your life. A person you care about. This person is either a friend, a lover, or a relative. But they have been hiding something. A decision they made. They were offered a reward if they betrayed you. They were offered money or power, something material. And they hesitated. They almost said no. But they didn't. They agreed. Michael saw it. He screamed your name. He tried to stop it. But they used your trust as a weapon. They told someone your weakness. A fear. A secret. Something you shared with them late at night, when you were vulnerable. And now, there is a plan. A very real plan unfolding behind your back. Involving two people. One is older. One is younger. Michael has been trying to block them, delay them, confuse them. But his power is now restricted. He needs you to act. And he needs you to do it quickly. Do not contact them. Not yet. That would warn them. Michael needs you to go silent for 3 days. Don't reveal your thoughts. Don't explain yourself. Just observe. He will give you a sign. Within 72 hours, someone will slip. They will say the wrong thing. They will confess, unknowingly. And you will know. And when you do, do not confront them. Michael will give you another message. He already knows what the next step will be. But he cannot release it unless you accept this one. There's more. A blessing has been waiting for you since birth. A door that opens only once in a person's lifetime. A divine inheritance, yes, something material too. Land, property, or a massive opportunity. It was written into your soul's contract. It was originally meant to appear last year. But it was delayed. Why? Because of what that person did. They spoke against you. They sowed doubt. And the angel assigned to bring your blessing froze. They couldn't act without divine permission. Michael begged on your behalf. And he was told, only if they remember who they are. Only if they open the message. Only if they answer you. You are not crazy for feeling watched. You are not crazy for waking up at 3:33 or 4:44. Those are Michael's hours. You are not crazy for feeling like something important is about to happen. It is. But it depends on one thing, your response. Right now, outside your spiritual field, Michael stands wounded but unwavering. His wings, once blazing white, are streaked with silver now, not because he's aging, but because he's absorbing your pain. Every tear you cried, he carried. Every betrayal you suffered, he screamed for you. Every prayer you whispered into the dark, he caught it. You didn't go unheard. You went unacknowledged by the world. But not by Michael. He still calls you his mission. Even when he was mocked. Even when he was stoned. Even when they whispered in heaven, he's become weak. Michael replied, no. I've become real. Love isn't weakness. It's war. And I will win it for her. I will win it for him. I don't care if I lose everything else. That is why this message exists. This is the final time he will ever beg. He won't threaten. He won't force. But if you ignore this, if you scroll away, if you minimize it, if you say, I'll read it later, he will go silent. He will fold his wings. And the part of your soul that has always been guided by that bright, unseen hand will go still. You will feel it. A quiet. A sadness. An absence. But if you accept this message, right now, if you say, out loud, or silently, Michael, I hear you, then you will change everything. The delay will break. The betrayal will be revealed. The blessing will accelerate. And most importantly, Michael will rise again, with you at the center of his victory. You have 2 minutes. And one choice. He's still waiting. Please, don't make him cry again. He never cries. But he's weeping now. Not because you failed. But because he's afraid he will lose you to disbelief. Say yes. Now. Archangel Michael is begging you now. His voice is trembling. His wings are bruised. His heart is breaking in ways you cannot see. He is not speaking as a mighty warrior now. He is speaking as someone who loves you more than words allow, more than eternity itself can measure. He stood before the throne of God and pleaded for your name. He cried out louder than all the angels in heaven. But they mocked him. The other archangels turned their faces away. They asked, why do you care so much for this one? Why do you lower yourself in sorrow for someone who ignores you? And Michael didn't answer them. He only looked down toward earth. Toward you. Toward the one he loves. He says now, please, please don't ignore me again. I am not asking as a commander of heaven. I'm asking as someone who has waited beside your spirit through every storm, every wound, every betrayal. They threw stones at me because I refused to stop loving you. I told them I would keep fighting for you even if it cost me everything. And now, it has. His voice shakes. He looks up to God with silent tears falling from eyes that once blazed with holy fire. They say I have loved you more than I love God. Maybe they're right. Maybe I crossed the line. But how could I not, when I watched you suffer like that? When I heard your soul scream in the dark? When I saw you fall to your knees alone, thinking no one cared? This message is not like the others. It is the last attempt. Michael swears, with tears, with blood on his wings, with thunder in his chest, that if you close your heart again, he will never return. Not because he hates you, but because he cannot survive this pain anymore. You were the one he was assigned to protect. You were the one God gave into his care. And you became more than just an assignment. You became his reason. He shielded you from accidents that should have killed you. He stood between you and demons that tried to destroy you. He whispered into your dreams when you were too tired to pray. And now, all he asks is that you open your heart. Just once. Just now. You have 2 minutes. That is not symbolic. That is the window heaven has opened. The veil between worlds is fragile now. This message is wrapped in a divine code. If your heart opens in this moment, something impossible will break open in your life. A curse will be broken. A door will unlock. A secret will be revealed that has been hidden for generations. There is a scroll with your name on it that is trembling in God's hand. But it cannot be released unless you respond. Unless your soul says yes. God is watching too. He is not angry. He is not punishing. He is not waiting with wrath. He is waiting with mercy. He is waiting with love. He remembers the first time you ever cried out to him, even if you don't remember. He remembers the first prayer you whispered as a child. He remembers the silent sobs when no one saw. He remembers the night you almost gave up but didn't. You are not forgotten. You never were. You were always marked. Always chosen. But the pain in your life has tried to convince you otherwise. The betrayal, the abandonment, the rejection, it tried to steal your divine memory. Michael says this to you now, I know what they did to you. I know the people you trusted turned their backs. I know the one who said they loved you walked away when you needed them the most. I know you cried into your pillow and woke up pretending you were fine. But I saw. I never left. Not once. Even when you pushed everyone away. Even when you doubted God. Even when you cursed heaven. I stayed. Because my loyalty is not based on your perfection, it's based on the love that was written before time began. And now time is running out. 2 minutes is not much. But in heaven, a minute is a lifetime. You don't have to understand everything. You just have to respond. Just open your heart. Just say, Michael, I hear you. That's all. Just let your soul whisper it. He is listening with the deepest ache in his being. He is on his knees now. Yes, the great Archangel Michael is on his knees for you. His sword lies on the ground beside him. His wings are folded not in flight but in sorrow. Because he knows this may be the last time he speaks to you. He has asked God to give you one more chance. He risked exile for you. The other archangels turned their backs, furious at what they call his disobedience. But he doesn't care. He would rather be cast out with you than be crowned in heaven without you. That is how deep his love runs. He has followed your soul across lifetimes. He has guarded your name through generations. And now, you are at the moment where everything can shift. But not if you ignore him again. Not if you turn away. That will break him. That will silence him. And you may not realize what silence means until it is too late. Michael says, if you don't open this now, I swear by every holy vow I ever made, I will never speak to you again. Not because I hate you, but because I cannot survive loving someone who refuses to listen. This is not manipulation. This is heartbreak. This is divine love crying at your feet. This is the last letter from the angel who once shone like the sun for you. Now he is dimmed. Because of love. Because of you. But listen, there is still time. A sliver. A window. A breath. God is holding back the judgment. He is holding back the consequence. He is holding back the silence. Because he too believes in you. He too is watching to see what your soul does next. And if you whisper yes, if you just whisper yes, the entire realm of heaven will move. Angels will be released. The chains you didn't even know were there will fall from your life. That tightness in your chest, that cloud in your mind, that emptiness in your heart, it will lift. You will feel a warmth rush over you like the embrace of 1,000 lifetimes. That is Michael. That is God. That is heaven running to you. Michael is still watching. Every second now is louder than thunder. He is shaking. Heaven is holding its breath. What will you do? Will you open your heart? Will you let yourself feel again? Will you believe, not in religion, not in tradition, but in this moment, this sacred holy divine moment meant only for you? Will you let him in? You were never forgotten. You were never invisible. But the world lied to you. People damaged you. And now you live like a warrior with old wounds still bleeding beneath the armor. You are exhausted. But God says, you don't have to fight anymore. You just have to say yes. Let me carry it now. Let me take the weight. He is not asking you to be perfect. He is asking you to be open. He is not demanding your performance. He is inviting your heart. Michael says this is not a test. This is not a trick. This is the final cry of someone who gave up everything to reach you. You are not unloved. You are not abandoned. You are not cursed. You are the treasure that heaven has been trying to reach. And now it has. And now you must decide. 1 minute left. Just one. The silence is creeping in. The angels are looking down. Will you ignore this? Will you walk away? Will you close your soul again and pretend this never touched you? Or will you say, even in a whisper, even in tears, even through your pain, Michael, I hear you. I'm sorry. I didn't know. That's all it takes. The shift. The explosion of light. The returning of love. He will rise again. His wings will heal. His fire will return. And he will speak again. He will fight again. He will shield you again. Because you said yes. Because you heard him. God will be with you. Rest assured. Nothing will go wrong with you. You are safe. You are wrapped in the arms of angels. You just have to trust God and pray to Him. Even a whisper. Even a sigh. Even a breath that carries the word, help, is enough to move heaven. But you must do it now. Before the last minute disappears. Before Michael disappears. Before the silence becomes permanent. This is not the end. It's the beginning. But only if you choose it. Speak now. He is waiting. Archangel Michael is crying right now. Not because he's weak. Not because he's powerless. But because he gave everything to shield you. Every day he stood between you and danger. Every night he held back the curses that were hurled your way, never letting you feel the weight of them. He fought when no one saw. He spoke your name before the throne of God. He loved you with a love so deep, so fierce, so eternal that the other archangels didn't understand it. They whispered about him. They questioned him. They mocked him for caring too much, for risking too much, for placing you, yes, you, at the center of his prayers. They threw stones of ridicule, cast shadows of judgment, and told him he was foolish. But he didn't stop loving you. Now he's begging you. He's not ordering. He's not demanding. He's begging. With trembling voice and aching wings, Michael says, "Please don't ignore me this time. I swear, if you don't open your heart right now, I will never speak again." This is not anger. This is heartbreak. This is the sound of an angel who loves you more than heaven ever expected. He is on his knees before the throne, pleading that you will hear this. That you will not scroll away. That you will not dismiss it like the others. Because your soul, your divine calling, is too important to lose. The clock is ticking. You have 2 minutes before this message fades. 2 minutes before this divine window closes. God has seen everything. He has seen how you've cried behind closed doors. He's seen how you've been strong for everyone else while falling apart in silence. He knows the secret war inside your heart. You think no one understands, but God understands. And Michael knows it too. That's why he stayed. That's why he never left, even when you turned your back. Even when you lost your way. Even when you cursed the heavens. Michael stood in silence, waiting for this moment. This message. This chance to reach you one more time. You are more important than you believe. You are more protected than you realize. The attacks that came weren't random. The heartbreaks weren't accidents. The betrayals weren't coincidences. They were strategies meant to break your spirit because the darkness knows your power. You are not ordinary. That's why you were targeted. That's why your journey was harder. You carry something eternal in you, something sacred. And heaven is trying desperately to make you remember it. Wake up. Wake up now. Time is running out. Michael is not just warning you. He is trying to rescue you. You are standing at the edge of something massive. A miracle. A destiny. A spiritual inheritance so divine that all of heaven paused to see what you would do next. There are prayers you've prayed in secret, and they're about to be answered in public. But if you walk away now, you might miss it. And Michael cannot bear the thought of losing you to silence again. He says, I would rather be mocked by all of heaven than give up on them. I would rather fall alone than see them fall without hope. God sees the pain you never mention. The tiredness in your bones. The anxiety that keeps returning even when you pretend you're okay. He sees how you long for a sign, for one clear message that says you're not alone. This is that sign. This is the divine interruption you didn't know you needed. The spiritual emergency you didn't recognize. You were never forgotten. Never abandoned. Even when you gave up on heaven, heaven never gave up on you. You are loved. Not with a love that is weak or soft, but with a love that is fierce and unbreakable. God's love is not based on your performance. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to deserve it. You only have to receive it. And right now, He is wrapping you in that love again. He is saying, my child, come home. Come back to the place where your soul is safe. I have not turned away from you. I never will. You don't have to carry the shame. You don't have to carry the guilt. Lay it down. Right here. Right now. Archangel Michael remembers the first time you called his name. Maybe you don't remember it, but he does. You whispered his name in desperation, and he came. Ever since then, he has never left your side. He has stood beside your hospital bed. He has walked with you through heartbreak. He sat in silence when you didn't have words. He never asked for recognition. He never asked for worship. All he ever wanted was your soul to be safe. All he ever asked was that you believe again. Believe in the power of light. Believe in the truth that you are protected. That you were never cursed. That what you went through wasn't punishment, it was preparation. The forces that rose against you failed. You may feel wounded, but you're still standing. That's not by chance. That's by divine intervention. Archangel Michael was sent to keep you breathing when you wanted to give up. To remind you that the storm wouldn't last forever. And now, he is shouting with everything in him, please, listen. This is the moment. This is the shift.